Shooting stars never fly for me. My house on Mars kinda hard to see. But you know I'll see you again. You know I'll see you again. Shooting stars never fly for me. My house on Mars kinda hard to see. You know I'll see you again. You know I'll see you again.
Feel it in the sunrise, even in the nighttime. It's hard to adjust now, cause you ain't around, no.
Damn it. So I meant to put this song in the beginning of my for my soulmate video. So this is like for my soulmate part 2, or message to my soulmate. This is message to my soulmate part 2. Welcome. Welcome, cutie. I'm honestly just having fun at this point, bro. I don't even know anymore, dude. I've been like in such a creative mood to make like a lot of things, but simultaneously being blocked at the same time. It's very odd sort of paradox I found myself in. To yap or not to yap? That is the question. I'm gonna go ahead and make the assumption that you are somebody who is spiritual watching this video, or spiritually inclined, or has a little bit of spiritual taste, and maybe even you're my soulmate. I've come to learn a couple things in my experience through the people I meet and everything, is that technically really everyone is your soulmate, quote unquote. You know, the mates you run into in life. Nobody you run into in your life is a coincidence. So let's just get that out the bag right now. Like, we're acting like coincidences exist and shit. Let's just let's stop. They don't. You know, I've seen really odd shit happen. Really odd shit, dude. And it just makes me go like I gotta think back. This one story I think about is this, right? There's a song, and I always got to reference this man because I feel like some of the key spiritual experiences I had were connected to some of this man's bars. Now, I wasn't necessarily in a club setting, but let me say this, right? In this song called Kundalini by B.O.B., he said, coincidence ain't no such a thing. It's what everyone goes down to the club to see. Or you could also say, like, that's how I heard it in the song, but how he flows with it, he could also be saying like, you know, that's like what everyone go down to the club to see. He kind of like took on this, like, I would say Caribbean accent, I guess. I don't know, because I'm Jamaican, so I don't even know if I can speak on that. But before I moved to where I moved now, I have experienced crazy synchronicity. Like someone saying something that was like, I not even having to talk to this person, just saying something that I was thinking out loud. Just took the words right out of my head, and I'm like, whoa, like that shit is crazy. And other crazy things, of course, like, you know, people buying meals for me, just wild, like really cool synchronicities and manifestations that happen. Sorry, I didn't make a little cut there because I opened my Instagram and it was some instant brain rot. But this whole thing about there's no coincidence brings me to this moment that happened. Again, when I was working security, I was honestly just using it as a way to test manifestation and see how far I could push things and stay completely in mental alchemy to see if I can like manifest things to happen, because each night was going to be different since I was working a venue. Is that the right term? A venue? I was working a place where different artists came and performed. And, you know, if you are following my videos, you may have heard me say before, like, one night Tovlo came, one night did Tinashe come? I can't remember, but Bryson Tiller, I worked that show. I wanted to be there for Closey because when I made a dance video, I would dance to her songs to practice, and I remember making one back at my mom's house, and she ended up liking it. I don't know if she shared it, but that was a really cool experience too. And just because I think some of these artists are they're just so talented, bro. You know, yeah, but I love art and I love music and stuff. I love how this video is about to be about soulmates. But anyways, one night that I was working the security job, right? I seen this like she, I'm not gonna lie, she was like a cute light skinned girl that had like the whole shaved head thing going on. And I didn't really pay her any mind. Like in my mind, right? At the station that I was working, I literally didn't pay her any mind, right? But I seen her like kind of like catch my attention a couple times. Like she glanced at me a couple times. And in my head, I just had this random thought that said, or this random feeling. I can't say thought because it was almost like, to separate my thoughts, at least personally for me, when I know it's a thought, it's like me wanting something to happen or me being like, oh, imagine if this happened, right? But this thing that told me was like, she's going to come up to you, by the way. And then voice gone, right? And which is a higher self. But this girl comes up with her friend like a little bit late. I think they come back like maybe an hour, 30 minutes later. It's like towards when the show ends. And I've told this story, I think, before, but not in the video fully, like in dedicated to a video. But there's a reason I'm doing it for a Soulmate video. But she ends up coming up to me with her friend, and they were talking about how they were in the band. They had really cool looks to them, like their clothes, they were dipping in shit. At least how I would, like with cargos and shit. It was fire. Their outfits were fire. And the one girl had like some like cool camo fucking cargos on. Yeah, but we started talking or whatever. She sat literally right fucking next to me, almost on my lap, sitting here talking about I got a boyfriend application, so like you're gonna fill it out or whatever. And she really sent this shit to me and had me weak. And I replied to her after work because she sent it and said like, oh, like you better fill that shit out. And she was saying it as she was leaving too. And then the friend too was like being such the wing girl, sitting here saying like, yeah, she got a whole application. This shit is serious. And I laughed because there was this odd sense in me, like before the voice, that told me like this person is going to approach me. There's a reason, like, and of course you're going to have everybody, like to people who aren't in tune, you're going to have them say, oh, there's no reason. Oh, you look good. Oh, this. No, I truly think depending on what your aura and your frequency is, you attract certain attention to yourself. Cause I could have been mean. Like you have to understand, I could like, the reason I say this is so funny for me telling stories like this is I'm also the same guy that sat on stream and had a Russian guy come in here and tell me literally, and maybe he was just being an asshole, that I don't understand why all black people just have this default mean mugging look. He said, I never understand it. He said, like, you look like you have nothing in your heart. Like your heart's black, no soul. This was on Twitch, by the way. And I want to make a funny joke about perspective really quickly, because I hear a lot of Twitch streamers and stuff say Kick is the edgier version of their platform. Yet, yeah, take a good look at some of the brain rot that's on Twitch, and I think, hey, you guys are damn near close. But yeah, this is just a random stream, and that's why I said, like, to me, it doesn't have to do with what I look like, because you can literally you can say different perspectives all day and argue whatever you want. And that's why I say arguments are pointless. But to me, I knew that it was something happening because I got deja vu when it happened too. And I was like, oh, wow, it really is actually like that. Because then that situation made me realize if you really just love yourself and you put your energy back into yourself, your soulmate will show up. You don't have to seek, because you know that saying, what you're seeking is seeking you. That shit is literally no joke. You will be a magnet. Because the funny thing about this is like, this isn't the only okay, I have an even better one of an example of like a girl that I met at this what was it? Like it was literally my first day and only day because I just said, you know, I don't really even know if I want to do this, because also like that's a long story, but there was this girl at this like little restaurant that I was gonna be a host in, and literally day one, you know, being cool with her and everything, and I had asked about her, and funny enough, immediately just everyone just said back to me, like everyone was in on it. They were like, yep, she's been asking about you too. And I'm like, ironic. It's like, you know, it's like this knowing, right? And that gave me so much like faith for others and myself, knowing that you'll come into the person you're supposed to be with, because it's lined up. It's like all events are written. You know how people want to say that God knows your story and everything's written, then it's already written. Like you can go into full on, like you can just walk in faith. Like you don't, like at the end, it's like a knowing, man. You could just walk forward and you'll be all right. Does that make sense? Just walk forward, knowing that something has your back in a higher realm, and you're golden, man. Give yourself to like love, to the unconditional love, and you'll really be all right. And over the last few days, I guess this has become more apparent to me, more serious, because, you know, I've met people who are really close reflections of me. Some of them I've even, they've shed off, you know, they're not in my life anymore, or they may be coming around the mountain. You never know. I just kind of wait to see the day happen and just chill and vibe. Because just truthfully, what's meant to be yours will be yours, and what's not won't. And that's just it. It's really simpler than everybody makes it. It really is. Like if I'm talking, like honestly, if I come on here spitting, like truly spit, because in some of my videos I get passionate, because, you know, that's just me. Like I get really like, you know, affirm, reprogram your mind and all this. But if I was just being like my chill self, coming like, and then like coming into like actually who I like, all right, say who I was in person if you were to meet me, and then now bring the person who's experienced what everyone calls the law of attraction, manifestation, all these laws of reversibility and all these cool techniques. Now just add that to the person who essentially already had a good understanding of who they were before all the programming. And that's like what I'm realizing about myself now. It's like, this is really just how I spit the knowledge, or how I transmute it. Maybe someone else will say it better for you to resonate with me, but I'm telling you, it's really simple. Like, you let go and these events will just happen, because I didn't even pay the girl who came up with the boyfriend application for me any mind. I looked at her and I was like, oh, just like, it's a cute woman. Cool. And I looked away. And I went back to my job, and she even said it to me. Like when she was working, she was like, oh, you're really not trying to fuck with me right now. You know, I'm not going to go into the details of everything she said, but I'm just saying, like, it was funny. And, yeah. And it's just like, honestly, I think the real only thing that hinders you from finding your soulmate or is literally, for everyone, honestly, for everyone that talks about finding their soulmate and everything, the number one thing that is hindering people is the ability to let go of trying to find it. It will find you, because if you're trying, then it has to run, because what is seeking you wants you. It's coming for you. So you have to be the one basically running. It's like the law. Yeah, I don't know if this one is called the law of reversibility, but it's like the knot technique. It's being like, no, I don't want $1 million. I don't want $1 million. Well, your mind isn't going to tell the difference between like what's going on. It just knows that there is something with this amount of money where it's like either this person has it, because you notice it's like this. Actually, this is the best way to explain it, since we're talking about soulmates. Have you noticed that when you're in a relationship, I don't know if this has happened for anyone else, I've seen this numerous times, so I'm going off of what I experienced. When you are in a relationship, that's when everyone, like when you first like get into a relationship, that's when all of a sudden everyone comes out the woodwork. It's like all these girls or whatever, even sometimes girls you wanted that liked you, or Oh, it's almost like that thing that happens when you move schools. Oh man, it's been ages. I remember when I moved to my new high school, and then girls from my old one were like, "Oh my god, I always liked you." Oh yeah, you're telling me that when I leave? So basically, essentially, that's what I'm telling you with the knot technique. When you leave, the emotions and energy of wanting something so bad, you'll end up getting it. You'll end up landing it. Like it'll land right at your feet. Because that attachment you have to wanting it so bad, it can feel that because everything is energy. So you can't say you want your soulmate because essentially you're just going to repel your soulmate. And then you're going to attract something that seems like it's your soulmate, which that's the people that basically bring the lesson. So yeah, I guess it turned into more of a serious video, kind of still jokey, but I wanted to put the song in the beginning, so I had to do a part 2. And this is me doing the part 2. It's funny, I literally shot part 1 yesterday. Then I fucked up the edit and I was like, okay, I'm gonna yap on this one for part 2. So I don't have to just go and re-render the same video. I'll just make 2 videos. All right, much love and Moonlight, I'm out.